There comes a moment in everyone's wealth building journey, a turning point that changes everything. One day, you check your investment account and realize you're not making any real progress. But then you wake up one morning and your money is earning more than some people make at their jobs. It's not magic, it's maths. And there are three specific milestones that act like tipping points where this transformation happens so dramatically. Before we talk about those, let's start with why wealth building feels slow at the beginning. Building wealth feels like a slow, frustrating process in the beginning, even when you're doing everything right. When you first start investing, there's this uncomfortable truth nobody really talks about. Most of your account balance comes from what you put in, not from what you earn. Say you invest $300 a month and get a 10% annual return. After 1 year, you've put in $3,600 of your own money. That's shown here in blue. Your investment earnings? About $200. That's the green part. Now, getting to this point is actually a big deal. It means you're consistent. It means you've built a real habit. Most people never even get this far. So if you're investing regularly, you're already ahead of most people. This is where understanding compounding helps. It allows you to continue and it shows you what's happening behind the scenes when it feels like nothing's working. Compounding is simple. You invest $1,000 and it grows 10%. After 1 year, you have $1,100. You earned $100. In year 2, that 10% doesn't just apply to your original $1,000. It applies to the full $1,100. So you earn $110 this time. You didn't add more money, but you earned an extra $10 just because your previous earnings grew too. That's compounding starting to work. So if you're thinking about quitting or haven't started yet because it feels pointless, remember that the beginning is supposed to feel slow. But if you stay consistent, the math eventually works in your favor. So now let's go to the first milestone. Milestone 1, your first $10,000. Getting to $10,000 in your investment account is a bigger deal than most people realize. If you're investing $50 a month with an 8% annual return, it takes about 11 years to hit this mark. That's a long time. That's sticking with it through market ups and downs, through times when you wanted to spend that money on something else, through moments when it felt like nothing was happening. It gets interesting when you hit $10,000, and because that's when life happens. Maybe you need to pause contributions for a while. Even if you never add another dollar, that $10,000 can grow to around $48,000 in 20 years just from compounding alone. You do nothing. The market does the work. Now, if you have access to a workplace pension or an employer match, you can hit this milestone much faster. Some employers match 50% or even 100% of what you put in. That's free money accelerating your progress. But beyond the numbers, reaching $10,000 proves something important about you. It proves you have discipline. It proves you can build habits and stick with them. It proves you can accumulate real capital even when it feels slow. This first milestone isn't just about the money. It's about proving to yourself that you can do this. And once you're here, the next milestones come faster than you think. Milestone 2, $100,000. When you hit $100,000, something shifts. This is where compounding stops being theoretical and becomes real. At 8% annual returns, that $100,000 can grow to around $1 million in 30 years without you adding another cent. You could stop contributing today and still become a millionaire just by letting time do its thing. This idea actually has a name. Coast Fire. It means you've front-loaded enough investments that time can do the heavy lifting from here. You don't have to contribute aggressively anymore if you don't want to. Getting your second $100,000 takes way less time than your first. If your first $100,000 takes 15 years of consistent contributions, the second should be 5 or 6 years, because now you've got returns working on a much bigger base. This milestone also gives you flexibility. If need to take a career break or you want to start a business, maybe you just want to ease up for a while. You can pause contributions temporarily without losing momentum because your existing balance keeps compounding. $100,000 isn't just a number. It's the point where your money starts doing serious work without you. Milestone 3, $1 million. When you hit $1 million invested, something incredible happens. Your money starts earning more than most people make at their jobs. At an 8% return, that $1 million grows by $80,000 in the first year. You didn't work for it. You didn't add contributions. The market just gave you $80,000. And it gets better. By year 10, that same account could be growing by over $160,000 in a single year. That's more than the average household income in most places. You can use the 4% rule here. You can take out 4% of your portfolio each year without running out of money. On $1 million, that's $40,000 a year you can use while your money keeps growing. This is the point where work becomes optional. Not because you're rich and living large, but because your investments are generating enough income to cover your basic needs. You can keep working if you want, but you don't have to. $1 million isn't the finish line, but it is the point where you've built real financial freedom. If there's one thing you take away from this, it's this: start early. Time is the single biggest factor in building wealth. The earlier you begin, the more compounding does the work for you. If you have access to a workplace pension or employer match, use it. That's free money that can cut years off reaching your milestones. Don't leave it on the table. Stay consistent, especially when progress feels slow. Those early years, when it seems like nothing's happening, that's when you're building the foundation. Keep going. Balance saving with actually living your life. Money is a tool to support the life you want, not replace it. Don't sacrifice everything today for some distant future. Find the balance that works for you. Start where you are. Invest what you can. Stay consistent. The math will eventually work in your favor.